So let's look at one more item here. One of the things we want to talk about is integers. In algebra, when we're adding things, we have a word referred to as terms. So the word terms is an important word we will use moving forward as well. Terms are the things joined together by addition. Remember, subtraction can be changed to an equivalent addition problem. Another little note to make out here is addition can be performed in any order while subtraction cannot. So in addition, things can be moved around and added any way you like. But subtraction, things have to stay as they are. What's being taken away has to stay put. And what we do in math is we use what's called the circle method to help identify terms. And the way the circle method works is you circle the first number. When you circle the second number, include the operation with it. And when you circle the third number, include the operation with it. That helps you identify the terms. So there are three terms, and they would be the 7 and the 2 and the 3. In math, the word and actually means add. So it really still means 7 plus 2 plus 3. By using term language, the addition symbols turn into ands. The terms are always joined together by additions. When you identify terms, think of them as connected by addition. So, 7 and 2 is 9, plus 3 more would be 12. So that's how we do it in algebra, is we see it as terms. So I have a 17 as the first term. When you see the second term, include the operation. And when you see the third term, you include the operation. So my terms are a 17 and, still write the word and, I'm just going to use a plus sign, a negative 10, and again, instead of using the word and, I'm just going to use the plus symbol. There's a negative 14 there. And if I add it in any order, I could say, well, since these signs are the same, I can add those together. So I just keep the 17, and then a negative 10 and a negative 14 would be a negative 24. And then, since the signs are different, I have to subtract. So 24 of dollars of debt, I'm going to be removing $7 of debt because of the income. It's going to take away some debt. So if I do my math, you end up with 7. But remember, you got to keep the bigger label. And since the bigger label is negative, it's going to remain as a negative 7. So I'm left over with $7 of debt. So I do this problem here. Again, we keep the first term. But when we circle the second term, we include the operation with it. And when I circle the third term, I keep the operation with it. So what we should be seeing is we see a 96 plus, because the word and means plus. But notice that the opposite of negative 20 is really a positive 20. So that just turns into a 20. And then and a positive 6, or just simply 6. Since all the signs are the same, you can just add it in the order. So I can add 20 plus 6 is 26, and then I can add 96 and 26 together. 96 and 26 is going to give me 122, if I did my math correctly. So that would be 122. Well, look at this next example. The first term is an 8. The second term is a positive 7. The third term is a negative 5. The fourth term is a positive 5. And the fifth term is a negative 8. And this time I'm not going to rewrite it. I'm just going to do it mentally here on this problem. What I can see is an 8 and a negative 8, $8 of income is going to zero out $8 of debt. $5 debt is going to zero out with $5 income, so that all just knocks each other out. So those just cancel out, and all I'm left with then is the 7. So that math has some interesting numbers in it that makes the math easier. So that just turns into a positive 7. because an 8 and a negative 8, they work against each other, so it just turns into a 0. A negative 5 and a positive 5, they work against each other, so that turns into a 0. And remember, when you add 0, nothing happens. So all I'm left with is the 7. When I look at this next example, I have a negative 12 as the first term. I then have the opposite of a negative 20. And I also have the opposite of a negative 2. So that one needs a rewrite. So I have a negative 12 is my first term, plus a positive 20, plus a positive 2. Again, I can add in any order I want. So I'm just going to add the 20 and the 2 together and get 22. So I have the 22, then I have to add that negative 12 to it. But when I add a negative 12, they're going to work against each other. One's an income and one's a debt. So the debt's going to remove some income, so I got to figure out how much income is being removed. So I got to lose 12 from there, and I end up with a 10. So I keep my label, and since there's more income, I'm left over with a positive 10 as my answer. So in algebra, we start to do this term thing, and this term thing is, most commonly, we use a circle. Again, I'm actually marking the circles on the paper, but you can mentally be doing that as well. But some problems definitely need to be rewritten, just like this last example. It's a lot easier to rewrite that problem to avoid mistakes. So I'm going to leave it at that. So that should conclude our first lesson on adding and subtracting integers.